4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live! Hey everybody, welcome to the INVICTUS Community stream. I'm Chris Lawrence. I'm the community manager. We're setting up, getting everybody ready for the community games that we're playing. Right now we're playing the second session of Vampire the Requiem that's GM by our very own Bob Lyle. Thank you, Mr. Game Master. And we've got Sam playing Connal Riley.
Hey guys.
We've got Mike playing Mikhail Silco.
Hey, hey.
And we've got Mark playing Michael Jones.
Oh.
All right. Also, too, we just wrapped up a very, very cool campaign on the main Invictus stream that Michael put together for everybody, and that was really awesome. The finale was last week, and had a lot of fun watching that and watching the post game questions. That was really cool. How'd you guys like Draft-Askew's Secret?
I haven't finished it yet. I'm one episode behind. So if there's spoilers, I will find you. I have a specific set of skills. I will catch. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Totally cool.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, so again, we're also the community stream. So we're players that have basically met on the actual Invictus Facebook community. So if you haven't found us there, go ahead and check us out. There should be a link in the Facebook in the actual description of this video. So go ahead and check that out and come join us and just talk a bunch. You don't have to come and play with these games, but you can if you want to. And that's a good place to get started if you're new to role-playing games, or if you're just looking to hang out with some cool people. There's a bunch of cool people there. So they let us all join and still hang out, so that's cool. That I think is everything that I've got. So I will go ahead and I'll hand it off to you, Bob.
Okay, thanks. Like I said earlier, this isn't going to be another 5-hour game. We'll be really. I think, yeah, it's going to be. Hopefully everybody has Monday off because we'll still be here.
I've got my catheter in, so we're good.
Well, I'm wearing a Depends, so I'm good too.
When's the game gonna end?
When we pee our pants.
Yep. First one does that, just raise your hand and we'll cut it off right there.
Oops, I already did.
All right, we're gonna pick this up at the. If you remember, everybody except for Connal, who bailed on everybody and kind of sunk into the ground in the cemetery. Everybody else made it back to the now prince's, I guess, sanctuary, and he's given you all until the next morning to basically get out of town. So we'll pick it up where. Or I guess the next night, it'd be morning for the vampires. At sundown, the next day, we had William, Michael, and Mikhail, like I said, in the sanctuary, and they wake up. So if we're going to do the vitae, it's going to cost everybody 1 point a vitae to wake up.
All right off the bat.
Yep, right off the bat.
So, Bob, that was the question, because I would have had extra vitae from the 40-pound raccoon. But we never really assigned a number to it.
Yeah, and I like what we were talking about there. What we were saying, Chris, divide it by 2 and round down for the max vitae of of your victim.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. For like a small mammal, like a dog or something like that. I can't remember. I think they have whatever their hit points are. So it's going to be maybe, say if it's like 7, then basically you would divide that by 2 and then round down. So that would be 3.
3.
So a small dog has 3, is what we're saying.
A small dog or just a dog in general?
So, I mean, a 40-pound raccoon is about the size of a dog. So 3.
So I would say 3.
All right.
And if everybody just wants to bump everything back up, because I can't remember, because I don't know if anybody used any of their powers that used Vitae last time.
The ones I used cost blood, so
Okay.
I got a pretty good pool now.
All right. And I'm gonna take care of that in a minute. The rule that I'm gonna throw out is the Predator's Taint, and that basically is if you come across another vampire, you roll, and that's especially in a vampire game. We would just be rolling Predator's Taint all night long. So I'm gonna do away with that. I'll let you know if it's a vampire, if you know it's a vampire, but we're not gonna have any of that. If they're higher than you, you might frenzy or whatever, because I think that's broken, and it's just it takes away from the game, I think. So we're gonna just totally disregard Predator's Taint from now on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
As long as my aspect of the Predator still works.
Yeah. Everything else works, just that Predator's Taint. I'm gonna.
Yeah, get rid of that taint. No need
Yeah, get rid of it. We don't need the taint.
Just gotta clean
It's like-
it right up. Clean it
like-
right up.
Pick a side.
The non-tainted side.
Yeah, the non-tainted side. All right, so the sun goes down. Like I said, Michael, Mikhail, and William, you wake up again. Your Vitae cost is 1 for that. You hear in the darkness. It's kind of like whispers. Dozens of people just whispering. You can't pick out anything, but you can hear it. You can't hear what they're saying though. A door opens at the side, one that you hadn't noticed before, and you think this is weird because there was only 2 doors into this room and now there are 3. A young boy and a young girl holding hands come out. They're about 7 years old. Think Village of the Damned. The boy and the girl, white hair, pale. That's what these 2 look like. So they come walking up, and the whispers get louder. Like I said, all 3 of you are just standing there, and in your head, you hear, and it sounds like, and I'm gonna akin this to the Borg on Star Trek. Just thousands of voices. At one time in your head, not enough to put you on your knees or anything, but just for communication purposes. And you can hear them, and they're like talking to themselves. You hear the boy, and he's thinking to we'll just say the sister, for argument's sake. I thought that there were 4 of them. And then the girl, you see her eyes kind of, they milk over, so they're just solid white, and you can start seeing a shape, probably 8 feet long, 4 feet high, and 4 feet wide. You can see it shimmering like in the heat on a blacktop pavement. You see a square shape, and it gets more vivid, and then all of a sudden there's a perfectly square, like I said, about 8 feet long, 4 feet long, and 4 feet high and 4 feet wide, dirt of earth. The girl's eyes clear back up, and they walk around, and Connal comes busting out of the ground, out of this square, this block of dirt.
Booyah.
And she thinks to her brother, problem solved now. Now we can get onto the business at hand. The whispers that you've been hearing in the background, they get louder and louder, and all of a sudden, 5 Nosferatu, like the ones you faced in the cemetery, come running out of the dark, skittering up the walls, skittering up pillars. The boy and the girl hold up their hands, and all 5 vampires just turn to dust.
Dang.
That's not good.
So,
Am I frozen on everyone's screens?
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hang up. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, did we? I mean, I'm assuming it was the 2 of them that did this, but did we see any of them take any action, or was it more of a just they look up and the Nosferatu poof?
The girl just held her hand up like that.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna look at them and say, did anyone see that? Did anyone? And then I'm gonna go run right behind them.
Behind the boy and the
kids?
girl?
No, behind Michael and William, cowering.
You smell the strong odor of ammonia as Mikhail soils himself.
So I came out of the ground to these 2 children of the corn, the shining kids.
Yeah.
All right. Connal's gonna crouch down in a fighting stance, and can I do a roll to see if what I notice about them?
Sure. Yeah. Roll.
Intelligence, perception.
Yeah, do that.
Wait, is there a perception one in here? Investigation, intelligence, investigation. So I'm gonna roll 4 d10s.
You'll need 2.
Okay. And nope. Got a maybe a fail.
Yeah. You got a big fail.
So a bird poops on Connell's face as he goes to look at the kids. And he stumbles back and he's wiping his
Or both the kids look at you and you're thrown across the room.
That works as well.
And you will take 1 bashing damage.
1 bashing damage.
As you hit the wall.
So that is just a check in the box, right?
I believe it's just a slash.
Yeah. Because it's not fatal.
No.
All right.
I think it goes slash, maybe an X and then a star for the fatal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I would definitely be falling into a defensive stance seeing this. I'm not just going to be standing there. I'm not taking action, but I mean, I'm on guard. Are they doing anything else other than making an example of him, or?
No, they. You do hear them say, we're not here to harm you, and we need your help.
All I did was look at him.
I'm going to scream, what do you want?
It's our understanding that if you're not out of town within the next, say, 90 seconds, that the prince, the now prince, is going to take offense to that and more than likely put you to your final death.
Okay. I'll walk over to the
If you
kids.
want to live.
Okay, then I follow.
Do they say an Austrian accent?
Come with us if you want to live.
Cool. Yeah, I follow as well.
Yeah, I don't think we have a choice.
Okay, the block of dirt that Connal came out of, it disappears in it looks like glitter. They point at the floor, and a symbol appears that you've never seen before. It glows faintly red, and they tell you to step into the center.
I stepped in.
I step in.
Okay.
Just follow.
One vampire.
Okay. Mikhail, do you step in?
I put my pinky toe in first to see if it, just vanishes.
Okay.
Oh.
When you see the other three walk in, they just totally disappear. It's like they were there 1 second and they were gone the next.
I'm just gonna pace around the circle for a second, and then
Okay.
finally just go, fuck it, and jump in.
All right. You jump in. The boy and the girl, they follow suit. They walk in. You find yourself in a clearing. It's dark outside. There's no moon, no stars. You can tell you're in the middle of some sort of forest.
I'd like to activate my auspex, specifically my sight. There's no cost there, but I'd like to basically look around to kind of see a little bit better.
Okay. As you look around, you notice the trees. They look odd to you. You've never seen trees like these before.
From what I can see, guys, I can see there's all these weird, gnarly trees. They don't look like anything that I've grown up around.
Also, the ground is like, I want to say onyx. Is that or
It's black.
Black or
it's
white?
black and rocky, real hard rock. No vegetation on the ground, just the trees you see.
So I've got my bonus skill in wilderness survival. Can I make a intelligence wilderness survival roll to see if there's anything that might be useful, or if I can figure out where we are?
Yeah, I'll let you try to figure out where you are.
All right, I got
Before you do that, you notice in the sky, stars are starting to appear, one by one.
So it's night.
Yes.
So my eyes are on the kids. I mean, they've already transported us somewhere we didn't know where we were going. We're now in this weird place. I've just had someone say, I don't even recognize this, and the ground is rock hard and not natural. I'm wanting to get a look at them and see, okay, how are they acting? Is this something that they're trying to mess with us? What am I getting from them?
From the kids?
Yes.
Okay. From the kids, you get nothing. You just get a sense of power. These are the most, in your mind, you think that these are the most powerful beings that you've ever come across in your entire life and your own life. And Connal, as you look up at the stars, did you roll yet?
No, I'm going to roll now.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
Okay. I would like to walk over to the kids. I'll kind of bend down. Like, how tall are they? Are they?
They're as big as like a 7-year-old. So.
Okay. So I kind of bend down and I'd introduce myself. Hello, I'm William. What are y'all's names?
And for the first time, like I said, they were holding hands when you saw them. For the first time, they separate and they speak with their mouths. The boy says you can call him X, and the girl says you can call her O.
Oh, I had a daughter about your age before I was turned. She was quite a bit younger, but you remind me a lot of her. What kind of help do you need?
she points, like you're facing her, she points to the back of you. And as you turn around, on the ground, it starts glowing faintly, and you can see the trees kind of peel away and make a path, kind of like parting of the Red Sea. That's what these trees do. They open up, and there's a path about 20 feet wide.
That's not normal.
No. You can tell that about a mile or so, you can see the lights of what you would take as a city back behind some hills. They say that the four of you stay on the path, make it to the city, and we'll meet you there. As they say that, they kind of fold up on themselves, and they're gone.
Okay. So, do we all link arms and skip down the path?
We're
Don't
off
walk
to
through the
see
poppies.
the vampire.
The yellow brick road. Guys, I think we should really do whatever they say. I really want to live, you know.
I mean, yeah, we seem like we're always having somebody else tell us what to do, but I don't think we have a choice in this matter. I don't see being able to stand up to the two of them.
So meta-wise, what do we have on us right now? Do we have basically what we had in our last area? I think I had like a knife or something like that, and I think everybody else had some guns.
Okay, everything that you had, other than your clothes, is gone.
Even the red box?
Awesome.
Oh yeah, you do got that red box. Yeah.
So I look down. I reach for a phone because that's kind of my bloodline. My bloodline is very attached to networking, especially internet or computers, stuff like that. So I try to reach in my pocket and.
Well, I take that back. Everybody had a knife, right?
Yes.
You get to keep your knives.
I had two guns too.
You know, two guns.
A pistol
Well,
and a rifle.
You're going to get better stuff. So.
Okay, that's fair.
You get to have an axe.
I look at my knife and I notice that I don't have my my cell phone or the phone that I had before. Then I'll look to Michael or to Mikhail. And I said, I think we need to get to the city very quickly.
I agree. I think we should start moving right now and move as fast as possible.
So, William, you took your knife out and looked at it?
Yes.
Okay, give me a perception there.
Okay.
And we'll make it easy. You only need one.
So I'll do a wits and intelligence. Okay, I've got 1,
2.
2. Yeah, I guess is it 8?
Yeah, 8,
Eight's
9,
enough.
10.
Okay.
Okay. You notice on your blade the steel is no longer stainless steel. It looks like Damascus steel, and you can see real faint inscriptions of some sort. You don't know what they are. They're symbols. Again, faintly glowing red on your knife.
I look to each of everybody and I kind of show them if they can see it. Look at this knife. My knife is glowing. Do you guys have any markings on your knives?
Connal pulls out his knife.
I think we all would.
Yeah.
Everybody does notice that they do have the steel has changed and it has the runes on it.
Mine says "badass motherfucker" for some reason.
DMF.
So
Do
18
they all
plus.
have
18
the
plus.
same? Do they all have the same markings?
No, they're all different.
And right now, we wouldn't know
You don't know
basically what it is.
what they are.
Okay.
Do these look like a modern make, or are we looking at something that might be more of a I don't want to say an antique, but something that would have been a high-quality weapon long ago?
They look exactly like the knife looked, just the composition has changed.
Okay.
So if, say this was your knife, it would look exactly like this, but it's Damascus steel, and like right in here is the runes.
Okay, guys, I'm going out on a limb here. I just really wonder if they're playing mind games with us, and all this is in our head. I could be totally wrong, and I still don't see a choice in following the path, but I really got to wonder if what we're seeing isn't actually what we're seeing, or if all of this stuff, that even our actions, are just going on in our head.
We are outside in the night with no shelter. We must move. And Connal just takes off down the path.
Follow on the right side flank. So I'm just kind of keeping behind a little bit, letting Connal kind of run point. And I don't even motion for the other guys. I just automatically just kind of go to his right side.
Yeah, I'll take rear guard.
Yep.
I'm also trying. I've still got my auspex basically activated, so I'm kind of sight-wise. I'm kind of looking. Actually, so visibility-wise, Bob, can we see pretty much everything now?
Since you are, of course, vampires, you can see in the dark. It's going to be like the infravision. I mean, you can see heat, stuff like that. You can't see color. It's black and white, but you can see just fine.
Okay. With my auspex, I'd like to engage my actual hearing and stuff. So as we're walking along, I'd like to really pay attention to kind of what I'm hearing around me.
Okay. You hear from behind you where the clearing was some howling. And it's like a wolf, but all four of you can tell without any skills that this isn't a normal wolf. And you hear branches breaking.
We can tell it is normal.
It's not normal.
It's not normal. Okay, that's what I thought.
Does it sound like it's getting closer?
Yeah, you can. It's not running. It's not even jogging. It's walking, let's say, with a purpose, coming up from behind you.
Well, we have two choices. We can pick up the pace, or we can wait. I'd like to have a better idea of what's coming up on us, but I think we need to just go.
I agree.
I'm going to turn around and then I'm going to run straight to the front of the line towards Connal. Okay.
Okay, as you do that, the movement stops, and you can kind of hear a panning. But this time it's coming from the side.
Crap. But we see nothing?
You don't see anything. Normally you would be able to see through the trees, but it's like somebody has dropped a curtain at the tree line and you can't see anything.
Okay, we were told to stay on the path. So I don't know that we want to move into the tree line. Do we want to wait this out, or do we want to keep making time down the road?
I say we need to book it. I'm going to keep moving, and I'm actually going to pick up and actually start running faster.
Connal does the same.
You said about 2 miles?
About a mile.
Oh, a mile?
Yeah.
We can do that easy. Let's just go.
Yeah, that's like 30 seconds to a vampire.
Yeah, we're vampires.
For real.
Okay, as you swiftly make your way down the path, you can, like I said, you can't hear the movement anymore, but whatever it is keeping pace with you, and sometimes even getting ahead of you. And then you'll hear it in the back of you on the other side. Then you'll hear, it's just, you would think that you were surrounded. And with that, about 50 feet up the path from you, you see the trees kind of bubble out, is all I can say. They bubble out and explode in a shower of splinters, which nobody has to worry about because you're not near them. And out walks, it has 6 legs and 2 heads. Its eyes are glowing green, and you can see the saliva falling from its mouth, and when it hits the ground, it sizzles and hisses.
How many heads did you say?
2.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And it stands there facing you again with its acidy saliva hitting the ground. You can see it burning the really, really hard rocks. It's just turning them into pools.
I run to the back of the line.
Connal, how good are you at throwing that knife?
Much better with it up close.
I was afraid of that, so am I.
All right. I'm gonna, Michael. I'm gonna run, guys. I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna try to flank him from the side. I'm gonna try to get him in a grapple position. You guys come right behind me. I cannot get that. I'm gonna get burned, but I'm gonna try to get behind it and immobilize it as quick as I can. I'm gonna try to go in, and if I can't, I'm gonna go ahead and break on out. But you guys will be close behind me.
William, Bob, do I get a feeling that this is an animal and not like a changeling kind of thing?
Yeah, it's not like a were creature or anything.
Is it looking at me?
Oh, it's looking at everybody.
All right, I stare it straight in the eyes, and then I do my feral whispers animalism discipline. So I get to roll manipulation plus animal ken plus animalism. So that is 1, 4, and animalism 2, 6 die.
Okay.
And
We'll say-
dice dream.
Say 2.
Boom. This puppy is mine.
Go ahead and roll your 10 again.
Yeah. Even better. That's
Okay, so that's
quattro successes.
Your
Actually,
ones
your
cancel
two-
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry, it's
So
2 successes.
2 successes. So we'll call that a success.
So that means I form a strong empathetic bond between the beast, and I can communicate to it, and they're, depending on the level of success, depends on how amenable they are to me.
Okay. Did we lose
I think we lost Mike.
Mike?
He was just coming in, and he
He
dropped.
got so scared he ran away.
That's what happened.
You want
Okay.
to take a second until he gets back? Probably
Yeah,
just
we'll
what I
wait.
did.
We'll wait. Well, we'll go with this.
Oh,
There he
he is. Anyway, we won the game. You missed it all.
I saw.
Connal rolled 5 10s, and then re-rolled and got another 5 10s. It was awesome.
All right, Justin.
We have lightsabers now.
Yeah.
The animal, instead of its ears laid back, it perks them up and looks at you and just sits down.
All right, and so I had said, "William, stop," and then I stared, and then it sits, and then I start doing like a low throaty growl. It's
I'm
kind of
just
like
looking at Connal.
establishing dominance over the.
You're gonna have to go mount it.
Yeah, I bite the tear. So I start stepping closer to it, and it can communicate with me. It's not just a. It's not just a like animal instinct. It's an actual communicative bond.
Okay.
Do I recognize this creature?
You have no idea. You've never seen anything like this.
So in my brain and out loud, I say, "What are you?"
He goes, I'm the guardian
The guardian of
the forest.
the forest. I am also a guardian of the forest.
And you hear the approximation of two wolf heads laughing.
I just kind of like bear down with my mind.
Okay.
I'm in the dominant position, I guess.
Can I real quick? Can I do a danger sense? I've got that as a merit. It basically gives me a 2+ modifier on wits and composure to basically detect an impending ambush.
Okay.
You realize that Connell's middle name is Danger.
Danger.
Danger. Well, while William's doing that, I say to the beast, "Why are you following us?"
To make sure that you get to your destination.
Do you work for the children?
So what do you got there? 2 successes, Chris?
I've got 2, yes.
2?
Jesus. What's your dice pool?
Okay, he says, or it says, you were told to stay on the path.
We were.
Okay, he says that you really need to do that because the Strix are out tonight.
We are on the path. And what are Strix?
He kind of, you get the sense of, like, you don't know who the Strix are. He goes, that's not important now. I'm sure that you'll come across them sooner than later. And he wants to know where you're headed.
We're headed to the city.
Can I hear this conversation?
Yeah, I'm speaking out loud. I don't know if you can understand what the Guardians say.
I make a mention, Connal. Can you ask them if what the Strix are and if there's anything that we can do, if it has any weaknesses that it wouldn't mind sharing?
The Guardian was very helpful, William, and told me exactly that we would probably run into one, but not what they are.
Can we ask the Guardian to assist us the rest of the way to the city?
He says, as long as you stay on the path and you don't dawdle, that you should make it there before you get the attention of anything else that lives in the dark.
See, and I'm immediately wondering, why is he slowing us down then?
Yeah. Let's not waste any more time, Guardian.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you, if Connal hadn't have passed his success, that you would have been putting those knives to use.
Thank you, Connal.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Those lightsabers, awesome.
Player of the game.
Double-bladed.
All right, so Kyle nods to the Guardian and keeps going down the path.
Okay. As you bid farewell to the Guardian, you hear in the background, it's like clicks and whistles. And I'm taking it that everybody's already walked past the Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine so. I would have.
Is it clicks and whistles like cat calls?
They're kind of like on signs. You know how the aliens clicked and stuff like that on signs?
It's a spider.
Sounds like strict noises to me.
You look back and the Guardian looks at you, and Connal hears, run. and the Guardian speeds down the path as you see several dark shapes, and the Guardian they start tussling. And again, the Guardian says, "Run."
And I take off.
Book it.
Yep.
I grab Mikhail by the ear. And start running.
So you're just hanging on to Mikhail for a free ride?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pulling him with me.
I'm bear hugging him.
Okay, as you approach the lights of the city, the sounds of battle get fainter and fainter until you don't hear anything anymore. You come up on a large, again, the same stone that the ground's made out of. It's fused to the ground is what it is, a huge gate. The gate is swung open, but it's just a huge archway, solid black. You do see runes on each block of the gate.
Do they look familiar, or any of the runes, do they look like the rune that was actually on our blade?
You can basically tell that it's the same kind of runes, but you don't know what they mean.
So they're just kind of over an arch, sort of, as we're walking
Yeah.
into the city?
It's like the arch is like this, and there's a rune on each block of the arch, carved into the stone.
Can I walk up, if we're walking up to it, can I take my blade and kind of wave it close to the actual rune that matches my blade?
You have a bunch of runes on your blade, but when you do yank it out and you put it up against the fence, you hear a slight ringing, kind of like a ringing hum, like a tuning fork type of deal, but it's real low.
So if I get closer to it, does it get louder?
It doesn't get overpowering, but
I want to take out mine and do the same thing. Does that make it go louder, like Captain Planet with our powers combined? You know?
no, it stays the same.
Okay.
I admit I'm going to go ahead and go past the gate because we were told to get to the city, and I don't want to stay outside the gate.
Okay, as you walk through the archway, Michael, you feel like there's some sort of force slowing you down until you reach the other side of the gate, and then you're free of that force. But you're good to go. Nothing happened to you.
I'll call back to them and let them know, like, hey guys, there's something about the gate. When I walked through, it was like pushing through molasses, but once I was in, I'm fine.
I'll walk up,
Okay.
pulling Mikhail with me,
I'll stick my pinky toe in and then go.
and then I shove him.
Yes.
Gently, but enough to get him through.
Okay.
I'll go
Just
ahead
get
and
through.
follow after. I'll be at the back.
Okay.
And as I go through, I turn to William and say, come on.
Okay. As you turn towards William, you see him come through, and everything, when all four of you are on the other side of the archway, everything where you just came from is totally black. You can't see anything through the archway anymore. It's just like a huge empty void. But behind you, you see, I would say, modern type buildings. You see some skyscrapers, some smaller buildings, and in the center, what you take as the center of this town, is a building so tall that it disappears into the darkness. You can't even see the top of it. You can tell that it doesn't end, but you can't see the top of it.
Just out of curiosity, do we have any loose rocks or anything like that on the ground? Or is it all just solid?
It's all solid,
Okay.
except here it's flat.
Just looking for something to throw through that doorway, just out of curiosity to see if it passes through or bounces back. We don't have really any possessions to do that with, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay, as y'all are staring at the archway, Mikhail feels a tap on his shoulder.
I turn around and see who it is.
You turn around, and X and O are standing behind you with a kind of a smile on their face.
I'd like to look at X and think, who are you?
He goes, well, they're both holding hands. They hold their hands up, and so fast that it'll make you dizzy, you're whisked away into a room. And there's hundreds of thousands of books, different sizes on the wall. They ask you, Michael, have you never dealt with mages before?
No.
And O says, well, now you have. We're mages, and we've been hunting for people like you because we need your help, because we have a problem here in Sinyan. That's the name of the city you're in. And only you can help, because it was foretold to them. They were actually Atlanteans. They were mages in Atlantis, and they were thousands of years old before Atlantis sank beneath the waves. What they do is they go place to place, teaching new mages, passing on their knowledge, and keeping time flowing the way it's supposed to.
And what can we do for you? It seems like we're such insignificant beings compared to what power you seem to possess.
They say they can do just about anything, but there's some stuff that they're not allowed to do. Even they have people that they answer to, X and O. They have a council that they answer to, so they can't just go all willy-nilly and do whatever they want. It's their job, like I said, to protect time and to see it flow and the outcome that it's supposed to happen. And what they want you to do is, there's a place in Sinyan that's become malignant. This city houses many different, I guess you can call supernatural beings. We've got we have the werewolves. There's more mages, Prometheans, Geist. There's even some spirits, and they all live in harmony in Sinyan. But recently, the Strix have infiltrated. They say you notice the gate when you pass through the gate.
Yes.
How everything seemed to slow. That's the only protection they have against the Strix. A little background on the Strix: they were like progenitors of vampires who've become corrupted even more than usual, and basically have become demons. They're the vampires' demons. What they can do is they've been known to possess people, and they don't even have to be alive. What they usually do is they'll move into a group, kill the group, and instead of fight for control over a living body, they'll just possess the dead body. They found ways to get into Sinyan, and they've set up, like I said, it's like a cancer in one certain part of the city, And that part of the city houses some artifacts that, if were to fall into their hands, would almost assuredly end time as you know it. They say Sinyan is beyond space and time. They'll tell you that you're not on Earth anymore. This is a pocket dimension, and there's no getting out unless they let you out.
Now, is everyone else hearing this, or is this?
Yeah, everybody else. They're not speaking to your mind anymore.
And William, I think I cut you off when I asked my last question, so if you were about to say something, go ahead. I don't want to keep talking and hog the conversation. But if not, oh, go ahead.
Basically, again, I'll walk over to O and I kind of kneel down. I'm very intrigued. Oh, so Meta, do we know anything about mages at all?
You know that mages exist because you've heard stories of them, but you've never met one before.
Okay, so I look at her and I say, just because I've had my sudden break with my daughter in the last session, so I'll look at her. Oh, I know that you possess this great power. Is there any way that you can bring anyone back from the dead? Or is there something that you can teach me?
She looks kind of puzzled for a minute and wants to know why anybody would want to come back from death after they're released to do and be anything they want.
Look at her, real puzzled. What do you mean release? To do what they want? I don't understand.
She says, your soul was forfeit when you were turned. But why would a normal person want to be put back into their body just to experience more pain and suffering?
So what you're saying is that her soul still lives. Is there any way that I can speak to that soul?
They say that they could allow that, but it'll take some time.
Okay. And then I say, I will do whatever you want if you can grant me that.
And they say, we will allow it. And then they look at Michael, Mikhail, and Connal, and they say, do you require anything for payment for the help that you might give us?
Yeah, I definitely could use some help back on Earth. My mother is very, very ill, and I worked my whole life to get her into a better home than she's currently in. If you could possibly help her out, I would be eternally grateful and help you.
I could use equipment for this journey. I don't really need anything material back on our plane.
And for myself, I just would like a question answered, and as Connal stated, as long as we're outfitted for whatever you're tasking us for, I'm willing to try. But I would like to know, because I've done as much searching as I can and have come up empty, is there a way to beat this curse?
No. Not that you would probably survive. if you do what they want you to do for them, they can at least make your transition as a vampire a whole lot easier. And with that being said, Connal, you in front of you materializes I'm not going to say a great axe, kind of like a D&D, double-bladed one, but a good-size fighting axe. The whole thing is made out of the same black stone that's on the ground. Seamless. Again, there are runes on the handle, similar to your knife. And as you reach out and take it, you disappear. And the other three, you see him grab his axe and he disappear, and for some reason you're okay with it. You know that he's all right. And in front of Mikhail, an image appears in a kind of like a globe. You can see your mother back on Earth, and you see someone deliver to her a letter, and it states that she's won the Publishers Clearinghouse giveaway for $10,000 a week for life. And she's really, really happy. So there she'll be taken care of. And William, in front of you, is a small glowing ball. You can see that there are lines in it, and they're kind of green. And you know right away that it's your daughter's soul. And Michael, they turn to you and they want to know what your question is.
You've answered my question. I wanted to know if there was any way for me to escape this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Half-life. For the longest time, I refused to believe that I was stuck like this, but if this is the way it is, then I'll have to deal with it.
And they tell you that you can either look at it as a curse, or you can look at it as a boon. It's made you not really better, but you're, of course, more human than human. You have powers that other humans don't. What you do with those powers is totally up to you. If you want to use them for evil, go ahead, be their guest, use them for evil. If you want to use them for some semblance of good, whatever a vampire calls good, feel free to do that too. William, you see this little ball about the size of a snitch in Harry Potter floating in front of your face. And you hear a woman's voice say, "Hello?"
Eleanor?
She goes, "Who is this?"
Sweetie, I saw you born.
She goes, "Dad?"
Yes, I'm technically your father, correct. But shortly after you were born, I was turned into a vampire. I was cursed, and I tried very hard. I've got this fog, these memories that I remember of you growing up, but there's also this blank, I can remember your mother, I can remember your mother Elizabeth, and you, Eleanor. I can remember you growing up, that full head of hair, that little girl. do you remember anything? Do you remember your last thoughts?
She says yes, and she says that she forgives you, that it's not your fault of what you became, but it was in your nature, and if she could help you live by her dying, she's okay with that.
Eleanor, I've been cursed. And this is the only time that I get to talk to you. I want you to know that I love you. In this damned state, this craving of human flesh, of the energy, I cannot escape it. I don't know what happened to your mother. I've had these dreams. I've been gone for a very long time. It's been dark. I've had these awful dreams. Had dreams of you, of your mother. Dreams of your mother. We were in the house together. It was very dark. There was smoke everywhere. I ran into your mother's room. And I saw her there. In each dream, I dreamed this over and over and over, and I run and grab her. And I can't remember. I can't remember what happens. So sometimes the dream shows that that it switches to us out in this field, out in the sunshine. I can see you and your mother playing out at the playground in the sun, but I know that that's not real because I can't be out in the sunlight. I also remember I remember this utter craving of her blood, and every night I keep coming to those two things, and they always stop. I'm never able to come see you. To come see you at the park, and my thirst back in the room to save your mother. That thirst and saving her. I'm never able to finish that dream. I want you to know that I love you.
And she says that she loves you too, but that's not a dream. That's a possible future. And with that, the little ball disappears. And faintly, you can hear her say, "I love you, Dad. Goodbye."
Do the rest of us hear this?
You don't. You're in another room.
Okay, good. As Connal's in the corner, softly sobbing. No, I'm in another room. I'm cool.
After everything,
your axe.
After everything that you've experienced, they tell you X and O walk up, and they already said that they knew what Connal wanted, his axe. They want to know what kind of martial type weapon that each of you would require.
Pistols, if you've got them. That's my weapon of choice.
Okay.
It would help me to know what I'm battling and what weaknesses. What I still have no clue what we're needing to do.
They'll say, we'll explain that on the way to the border. With that being said, a gun, it looks like a Desert Eagle, appears in front of you, made out of the same metal that your knife is, kind of a Damascus steely type of look. And again, on it is faint red runes. You do notice that there's no magazine. It's just solid, like they carved it out of a block of steel. And what about you, Mikhail?
I would love, I hate weapons, but I would really love a bat of some sort, maybe a spiked bat.
Okay, a Louisville Slugger type bat appears in front of you. On the end of it are red, again, kind of glowing spikes, about an inch, inch and a half long. You take that bat, and Michael, you take your gun, and the both of you disappear. You're standing with Connal now.
Hey, guys.
Hey!
Hey.
And then they look at William, and they want to know what type of weapon that you would require.
He's got the power to make people cry.
So I guess since I'm kind of a more of a grapple type fighter, close combat, I think the knife pretty much would suffice. But if there's any type of gauntlets or anything like that that can aid grip or like. Basically, my body is not very strong, so anything that can increase my grip, if that's possible.
Gauntlets of ogre strength.
A table appears, and on the table are a pair of thin gloves. Again, black, with, it looks like stitched into it, a rune on the back of each one. On each fingertip is a rune, and on each knuckle is a rune. So you've got a big rune, and on each finger is a different rune, and then on each of your 4 knuckles is another rune. And as you take those and put them on, you're standing with the other 4. X and O are standing there. The wall kind of kaleidoscopes, like you're looking through 2 mirrors, where you can look into infinity, you know? What I'm talking about, you hold 2 mirrors together, and you look in one.
Infinity mirror.
That's what the wall does. And they just start walking down this, we'll call it a hallway, and they beckon you to follow them.
May I ask a question? This is in character, not...
Okay. they say yes.
Then no.
My 3 companions have weapons that don't require ammunition. Do I need to worry about having to reload this?
And they look at you and say, it's the same principle as your guns on Earth, but no, you wouldn't need to reload it as an action.
Thank you.
May I ask a question? Oh, what? I noticed that there are runes on my gloves and runes on my knives, on our knives. Do you have any idea what they mean?
So they say, yeah, we know what they mean. We put them there. Those are runes of power. Your mundane weapons wouldn't have worked here, and you wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds against the lowest of supernatural creatures in Senyon.
You had said that the varying creatures living here live in harmony.
In Senyon, they do.
Which is unheard of to us. but the area with the blight or malignancy, I understand that they are possessing the various creatures that were once living in harmony. Is that correct?
The Strix can possess living or dead creatures. Everybody that was in that, what you would call a neighborhood, when the blight happened, were not seen again. All they can gather is that they were possessed and they've gone to ground. But here recently, just like tentacles spreading, the blight is starting to spread to the rest of Senyon. And what they need you to do is break into a vault that housed 4 objects of power. They can't allow the Strix getting their hands on them. Again, they could go in and take them, but even they are afraid of the Strix, and if they were to die or get possessed, Senyon would cease to exist, and then the Strix would find their way to all the other planes of existence and wipe them out too.
I'm assuming the Strix are unaware of these objects of power?
They know they're there, but they haven't figured a way to get them yet. And they say it's going to take all 4 of you as a team to get these objects. And they describe them as, they're kind of like a brass ring type of thing. One is, it's white. It's a white stone. Another is red, another is green, and another is just like what the ground's made out of in your weapons, black. They need you to recover these objects and bring them back so they can store them in a more secure location.
And we've heard you talking about these Strix, but we still are unfamiliar with them. What can you tell us about them? What are their strengths, weaknesses? I'd like to go in better prepared than go there, if at all possible.
They say that hopefully, if all goes well, you won't run into any Strix. But they know how human nature is, and even newcomers to Senyon might throw a wrench into any sort of plan that they can foresee. The Strix are, like I said, basically demons to the vampires. Kind of like a ghost, an evil spirit. Like I said, they can possess, and of course they can fly, hover, do everything that a ghost can do. They can sense blood like a vampire, since they are, they used to be vampires. They can embrace, make humans into vampires under their control, just like a vampire. Of course, they rely heavily on the power of dominate. So you'll have to be aware of that. They can be killed, but even X and O say that they would even have a problem actually destroying a Strix forever.
So if we run into one, our best option is to disable, slow it down, hinder it in some way.
Hinder it before it raises an alarm and alerts others. They say most likely there are only 2 or 3 Strix in the whole city. But what they have done is when the blight came, all the creatures that were in that were, again, tainted, and they are under the control of these Strix.
Okay. I was under the impression we were looking at dozens.
Dozens? No. They say if there were dozens, the blight would be a whole lot worse than it is. What these 2 or 3, like they said, they have no idea how many actually there are. There may just be one. They're just building their power so they can try to get these objects.
So is there anything that would indicate, give away? I'm assuming, as you say, the population in this area is gradually being taken over. Anything that would make us aware of what, if it is a Strix we're encountering, rather than just a thrall of a Strix?
They say that you would, if you came across a Strix, it would make itself known to you in its full glory, if you will.
Yay.
Think of a Dementor. How they looked. That's what the Strix look like.
What's a Dementor?
In Harry Potter?
I'm just kidding.
Actually, I'm not. I haven't read the books yet, nor seen the movies.
Oh, 20 points from Gryffindor there.
I think we've kicked Mark out of the group, guys.
Oh, Mark just went off. There we go. Where'd he go?
Oh, bye, Mark.
Sorry, don't have anything against it. Just got too much to read.
So I look at O, and I ask her, is there anything that we need to know about our weapons? Do they function normally?
Your weapons will function just like they do on Earth, but as your weapons, if you stab a human on Earth, it would hurt them. If you stab let's say you come across a possessed mage here, your weapon from Earth wouldn't do anything to them. They would just laugh at you and more likely turn you to ash. These are just souped up weapons for supernatural encounters. Because even silver doesn't work here.
Gentlemen, I'm ready to get started.
Let's move on.
Let's go.
Okay, you make your way down the magic mirror hallway. X and O walking in front of you. At the back of you, every time you pass one of the columns, it disappears. So you basically got a solid wall behind you at all times. So you don't have to worry about anything sneaking up on you. As you, about 15 minutes later, you come out onto a street. The lights going down the street are gaslight, so they're not really putting out that much illumination. You can see that buildings, no lights are coming from the buildings. There's black cracks on these now white walls of these buildings. You haven't seen anything really of a bright color here in Sinyan yet, but these buildings were made of, it looks like marble, white marble, and they have black cracks all over them. And you can, if you look at them really, really close, you can tell that the cracks are like veining out, that they're not cracks at all, but it's more like veins and capillaries from the body. And everything that they touch, the color diminishes. So the white walls, when the cracks hit the white walls, it's basically like a bruise. They turn yellow or brown, and you can tell that whatever it is, it's just consuming everything in this part of town.
I suppose we need to know where we're going if we're going to recover these items.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
X raises his hand to his forehead, and a shimmering light, not a ball of fire, but a shimmering light, races off down the street and shoots up into the sky, and you see a beam of light go down, and it's hitting a very large building, kind of like the Capitol building is what it looks like in D.C. It's got a dome on it, a tall steeple-like spike on top, around perimeter columns, which, again, just like the building that you saw earlier, they go all the way up into the darkness, and you can't see the top of them. You see two large golden doors, slightly ajar, in this building. The doors are huge, probably 40 feet tall and 50 feet wide. They say that this is as far as they can go, and that you would have to, that the building they've shown you is where you need to go to get these objects, these rings.
Yeah. So they basically lit the building up like a flare.
Just to you.
Ah, okay.
That way, if you were to get lost or something like that, all you would have to do is look up, and you could see that beam, and you would know where to go.
Okay.
And they say from here on out, you have to, more important than ever, you have to work as a team. And don't believe everything that you see and hear in this part of town. And with that, they step back into their mirror hallway, and it disappears. And as they disappear, you hear that, again, time has no meaning here, so you don't have to worry about a sun coming up.
Okay.
I still keep a wary eye up to the sky. You know, kind of track the position of the moon and the stars as the survival guy, just to make sure that they're not like, ha, there is actually a sunrise here.
You look up and you see the 3 moons.
And I turn to the guys and go, is everyone else seeing the 3 moons?
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard Topeka's got some weird moons going on.
Everybody from Topeka sends your emails to Connal.
Pretty sure Chris Lawrence said it.
All right. Well, I don't see anything to do but to move forward.
Yeah, guys, I want to get this over with as quick as possible.
I would like to get back to our own planet.
Lives.
Unlives.
So we're told not to believe everything we see or hear. So I'm guessing that if anyone sees anything out of the ordinary, we need to check with everybody else in the party.
There's 3 moons!
I think we can all agree on that one.
You can't run from 3 moons, Mikhail.
Now, in relation to where we are, as far as starting out and what we can see, again, how far away is the actual area, the building that we're needing to get to?
You would think that it's about 3 blocks, the length of 3 city blocks. And it's right in the center of the road. It's like you have these white buildings on each side. Of course, roads go off to the side. The road you're on leads right to these large golden doors that you saw.
Okay. If it's that easy and they can't do it, then it must not be that easy.
Is there any place I can kind of stay unseen and scout around?
No trees or bushes here. You just have the buildings, like I said, to the side. Actually, the darkest place is in the center of the road. The gas lights are only illuminating maybe 10 or 15 feet underneath ourselves, so the light's shining down like this. And it's not even really casting that much light.
You said there were doors up ahead, right?
Yeah, on the building there's 2 huge golden doors. And like I said, they're slightly open. Okay. As you start moving towards them, Connal, it's like you phase in and out.
Mm-hmm.
As everybody else looks at you, they can see you move forward, but you're leaving like images of yourself behind. So
like
you
a laggy modem.
Yeah, yeah. And once you stop, these images catch up to you.
Do I feel anything?
You don't feel anything.
I guess I would keep walking.
So we're seeing basically multiple images of Connal as he walks.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, okay, meta again, but Displacer Beast.
More like. Does anybody here watch Star Trek: Next Generation?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Star Trek.
Oh man.
Of course, I've watched Star Trek: Next Generation.
There was an episode where Data had to do something, and he did exactly the same thing. There was multiple images of Data, and when he stopped, the images caught up. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
Michael, you do see some images of Connal as he's walking. One heads down a side street. One turns around and goes back. One is laying in a pool of blood. And then, like I said, when he stops, those images disappear.
So they're all possibilities. Okay, I think we all need to stick together.
Yeah.
As Connal is walking forward, I'm going to be following him. Then I notice the break in actual kind of mirror images. As I see one, I go to touch one of them.
And for a split second, you can. I mean, your hand goes through it, but it's just like the gate. There's resistance there, and then it disappears. You also notice an image of yourself up ahead with your weapon out. You had a knife and a what again, William?
William's got gloves.
Oh, yeah, the gloves. You can see that you're breaking the neck of Mikhail. You see him turn to ash. You see yourself being lifted into the air. You also see an image of yourself being dragged down by black skeletal hands into the ground. But when you stop, all those images disappear.
I have a suggestion. I don't know if it'll do us any good. Single file, one hand on the shoulder of the person in front of us, walking down the road, just so that we can keep focused on our reality. Does this make sense? Or
I second that, definitely.
Sounds good.
Okay, Mikhail, where are you at in the line?
Ideally, I would be not the last, but the next to last, with my eyes completely shut. so I don't have to deal with any of this.
Do we want to keep with the pattern that we had earlier? Connal up front, me taking the rear.
I think that's a good idea, especially since you have a pistol now.
Yeah.
Okay. As you do that, you're going single file down the road. Again, you see all these offshoots of yourself and each other doing dozens of other things. Some of them, you see yourself dead. Others, you see yourself vanquishing some sort of foe. You don't see what you're fighting, but you see that you're victorious. Others, you see that you're at each other's throats and trying to rip each other's heads off.
Guys, I've never trusted anyone more than I trust the three of you.
Let's party.
Once you've made it about a block closer to this building, Michael, give me a wits and intelligence.
6.
And we'll go for 3.
One, 2. I got.
You get
2.
one more.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
One more. Come on. Got a 2.
Okay, you look behind you since you're in the rear, and what you see is the building with the large gold doors behind you now.
Guys, are we? Wait. What?
And you also see you're looking at yourself, but this is different. You're maybe 20 feet looking at yourself. It's like looking in a mirror, like somebody has stuck a mirror up and you're looking into it.
Oh, okay. I follow now. So I'm looking behind me.
At yourself and the building with the golden doors.
Now, is the person that I'm looking at, that's me, looking back at me?
Yes.
Deception.
Okay. Now, as I look back, I would be holding Mikhail's shoulder, and I would come to a complete stop and be saying, guys, I'm not sure we're going the right way. Can you tell me what you're seeing?
I guess I look back and I see the same thing. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it's not just me.
Michael, I think it's imperative that this place is got something to it, something that we don't need to distract ourselves with. We were instructed to continue to go further, and I think that we need to continue going in the direction that we were going, regardless if things look like anything different.
Intelligently, I agree with you. As I said, when I saw what I saw, I wanted to get everybody else's input on this, especially since we've been told not to believe anything. But if the rest of you want to keep going the way we were, I'm going to stick with the party.
Okay, as you're saying that, you notice, Michael, that do you still have your hand on Mikhail's shoulder?
Trying to think if I talk with my hands, so I probably wouldn't.
Okay. As you're talking, again, you don't hear like a double voice, but it's just like a mirror. You see the image of Mikhail peeks around your shoulder. As you turn around to look at Mikhail, he's still facing the back of Connal, kind of scared. He doesn't really want to look back behind anymore. But now you can tell that whatever you're looking at is not the group.
Okay. Guys, it's time to hustle.
Let's move.
What's behind us isn't right. Let's get out of here.
Okay. I guess you link back up there.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, William.
What?
Did you have something?
Oh yeah. So I guess as we're walking along, I'd like to roll for my basically danger sense. So as we're moving along, I want to I've got basically this uncanny sixth sense that I can basically avoid trouble, or I kind of know something's off a little bit. So if that's something that I can do now, as we start to, as I continue to say that we need to move forward.
Okay. Does that cost?
It is. It's a merit, so it's +2 modifier to wits plus composure.
Okay. Go ahead. And you'll need 3.
Okay.
More than got it.
Oh.
Oh, I get to roll one more.
I scored today, break it.
Style.
1, 2,
Wow.
3,
We'll
4.
say that.
4.
We'll say the 1 gets rid of the 8. So you got 3.
I mean, it's nice, but it's not 320s in a row.
Okay, William, your spidey sense perks up, and as you look back to the front, the way you were going, you notice that the building's not there anymore, and the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and with that, you turn back around and face your, we'll say, doppelgangers, and all 4 of them kind of split off from each other, and they're standing about 4 to 5 feet apart, blocking the road.
Gentlemen, I think we need to stick together as much as possible. I think everything about this world is wanting us to split up, but I really think we need to stick together.
Back before I turned, I used to play a game where it was a very bad idea to split the party. And I think that's still a true rule for everyday life as a vampire.
Well, we've been told to work together. It'd be a bad idea to split up anyway.
So let's stay and move together as one.
Now, Bob, do we see what William saw, or is he the only one that saw it?
No, you can all see them.
So the building has disappeared.
The building has disappeared from the way you were going, and now your 4 doubles stand between you and the building, which is now less than a block away.
What about the light that was shining on the building?
It's still there.
In front of us, the way we had first gone, or behind us?
No, behind you. You were walking towards the building, and when you looked back, you saw a double of yourselves and the building, and as you turned back to go the way you were going, you noticed the building wasn't there anymore. So now you're going to have to do a 180 and basically go back the way you were going, or go back the way you came, because that's the way to the building now. But
Basically everything that we've been moving in the same direction and we've not changed,
Mm-hmm.
but as we continue to keep moving, we're getting closer and closer to the actual building, correct?
You were, but you were walking in a single file line towards the building.
Mm-hmm.
When Michael looked behind him and saw the image of the group and the building, like the mirror, now when you were turned back around from your doubles and we're going to make your way down the road, the building's not there anymore. So there's not, you're going back the way, if you keep going the way you were going, you're going to be back to where you basically teleported into this neighborhood. If you keep going the way you were going, you're going to get farther away from the building. but now what stands in your way are doubles of each of your characters.
Okay. So that tells me we should not take our eyes off of our destination. All right, does everyone agree then that the building we now see is the right way?
I think, if at all possible, if we can try to continue forward as a group. Now, if we do run into anything, I'd like to try to keep going forward if we can. Even though it's the opposite way, I want to try that. And if all else, we can turn back around.
I gotta agree. I still think that our minds are being messed with, and that we ought to go the direction we started.
I think so
See
too.
what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's no sunrise, then all we're doing is losing a little time.
Right. So let's move.
So you're moving away from the building now?
We were moving on in our original direction.
Your
Yeah,
So
original
yes,
away from the building.
Okay.
Because we don't listen to the rules.
You make your way down without incident, and you find yourself, like I said, right back in the little cul-de-sac that you appeared in.
So if we've made it that far, is it actually, would we be at the actual building itself by that point?
More than have been at the building.
Okay.
All right.
Because you've come about 2 blocks.
And it was only 3 blocks away.
Yeah, it was 3 blocks away. So now you've moved back 2 spaces. So now you have 3 blocks to the building.
Okay.
And you can still see yourselves, your doubles, standing there in the same part of the road that they were standing.
Okay. Michael, I think you were onto something. Maybe this time we turn completely around and we keep going, but let's make sure that we keep our eyes on the actual building itself and don't, even if we hear something, we don't need to keep our eyes, we need to keep our eyes focused on that building.
Deal.
Right.
Let's do it.
All right, so you start walking towards the building again. You get your 2 blocks, and now you're standing about 20 feet away from your doubles. You can see that their hands are twitching in jerky movements, and a dark mist surrounds their hands, and what looks like I think it's a cutlass. Is that the one with the hand guard?
Big guard.
Yeah. Each one of them, a cutlass, let's call it a cutlass, appears on each one of their hands.
Like what you think of when you think of pirate sword.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a cutlass.
I take a shot to drop my double. I'm not, I'm sorry, not wasting any time. I'm going to draw down, take a shot.
Proves.
Okay.
20
Let's see.
headshot.
Headshot. More than enough. Okay, go ahead and roll it. You call in headshot?
Yeah, at 20 feet, I feel good about it.
Okay.
So, and this is going to be... Sorry, been too long since I've rolled. So, this is firearms and... Shoot, I've forgotten my modifier. I'm sorry.
I thought it was 2, right?
It's 2, and then I've got a I want to say a modifier. The additional modifier I've got for pistol, so it should give me an additional. So I should be able to roll.
And if you're if you're aiming, you get a +3.
Awesome. So that'll give me, well, 2, 3. So that'll give me 6.
I think it's dexterity too.
Correct.
Is it dex? Okay. In that case, then 3,
Dex
4,
plus
5.
firearms.
Yeah, dexterity
Dexterity,
plus
firearms minus target's armor.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll give me 5. And then what? I'm sorry, Bob. What did you say? The additional pistol talent?
If you're aiming, 3.
3. Okay, so 3, 5, 8. All right. So
And their defense is 3 on each one of them.
okay.
So you just take away 3 of the dice.
Well, 1, 2, 3 successes.
Is that an 8 and a 6 up top there?
Yes.
Okay. As you fire, you see your double. Let's say that you were shooting at yourself. You see your double kind of do a matrix type of deal. He falls back on the ground. The bullet, which you notice is weird because you can see it. It's like a tracer round almost. It's blue. You see it almost hit him in the head, right between the eyes. But he falls and he charges.
Dang, I'm good. All right. So is he coming at me, or is he just...
Yeah, he's going to come at you.
All right. I'm going to drop down and get ready for action.
Okay.
Of course, I need to clear this. Sorry. So, athletics. So is he taking the first hit, or...
Yeah, he'll swing at you.
All right.
Which is going to be his strength plus weaponry. And 1 success.
All right.
So what's your what is your defense and armor?
Armor. Sorry, looking at. All right. Where's my other page? Okay, I'm looking at no armor.
Yeah, you shouldn't really have any armor. Probably your defense. So, mine's like a 3. So yours will be close to where size and armor is, I think. But
defense. Finally, sorry, looking at a different page. So I've got a defense of 3. So
Yeah, defense is dex or willpower, whichever's lower.
Oh, take a drink. Heard a cat.
There's a cat.
All right. So.
Meow meow.
Well, I got 1 success.
now you still have a 10 again.
Oh, that's true. Big money. Ha!
Bam.
Sweet.
Okay, since you did roll a 10, he comes in and swings his blade, almost as like instinct. You raise your hand. His sword makes contact with your gun. As it does, a round is fired, and it hits your double in the neck. Again, you see the blue tracer round enter his neck, and a spray of, I wouldn't say blood, but it's black and it's thick, and he falls on the ground and starts jerking around like a turkey does when you shoot it, and he disappears into a mist.
So I'm guessing I wouldn't want to feed on him then.
Isn't that a condition? You want to do something to yourself? Okay, Mikhail, what are you doing?
My eyes are still shut. So I open my eyes and see what's going on.
Okay.
I really don't want to engage. I'm just going to lay low and see what the superhero of the group, Connal, does.
Okay, as you're looking at your double, you see a grin wider than what should be on somebody's face, almost ear to ear, appears on your double's face, and he starts slowly moving forward.
And I start slowly moving backwards. Well, I take out my bat. I'm in the defensive pose, seeing, if he's going to keep on coming, I'm going to have to swing.
You said you were moving backwards?
Very slowly. I'm still,
okay.
Have my hands on, going away.
Okay. As you move backwards,
I'm going to move over toward him.
Toward Mikhail? Michael, you're going to move towards Mikhail?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I know that he's not a hand-to-hand kind of guy, and if I see him starting to back away, and I know that we need to stick up for one another, I'm going to move over toward him.
Okay. As Mikhail backs away, you hear a kind of like a pop, and you notice that he's no longer there, but he's standing behind the line of doubles.
Leave him.
Dude.
Let's go.
I go, guys.
As he gets your attention, his double turns around and turns into a mist and disappears.
I move towards my double, pulling William and Michael with me.
Yeah, we're staying together. We need to get to him, and we need to stick close.
Okay. So, Connal, you're facing off with your double?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing?
I got a big black...
Bringing your axe to bear?
Legit axe to bear, yeah.
Okay, your double, he stands there like, come at me, bro.
So, strength plus weaponry. And I have my special in axe, so that adds an extra one, right?
Yeah.
So that's 7. And 2 in brawl, so that's 9. Or do I just do weaponry?
I would just do weaponry.
All right, so we're going to do 7. And boom. So canceled out the 9s, and I still got the exploder.
Did you have... What'd you get there?
I got 2 1s, 2
9s.
9s, and a 10.
All right, roll your 10 again.
Boom. 2 10s.
2 10s?
2 10s. Tans.
And my deal's in the way. Is that a 1-3-7?
Yeah.
Okay, I fell miserably. You basically swing up through your double's crotch, taking him clear to his head, and you split him in half.
Oh, I split him in twain.
Each part of him falls after a second and turns to a mist. Mikhail's standing there with a really, really surprised look on his face. So that just leaves William and his double.
Okay.
Before you start there, William, Michael and Connal are now up with Mikhail.
Okay, so I'm just by myself.
Yeah.
So his double has his back to us.
Yeah, he watches you pass.
Okay. Let's see. I start pacing back and forth, just basically horizontal from the line I'm at, just kind of sizing up. And I would also like to use auspex. And I would like to see if I can sense if there's an imminent threat. And basically, this is the only time that Auspex really could possibly need a roll, but I don't really have any dice necessarily. I don't know if that would be, but it's basically a GM call at this point. So it's up to you.
Oh, I can tell you, you're facing a very big threat. No dice roll needed there.
Okay.
As you said, you're just like skirting his perimeter, or kind of sizing him up, or sizing yourself up. Okay.
Yeah, just
As
kind of
you
like
do that, faster than what you would think possible, even for a vampire, he raises his sword and swings down. A wall of blackness appears where the blade was. Roll your... Let's see, what am I going to have you roll? You're definitely going to roll your wits and your dexterity. Roll that.
Okay.
And you'll need 3. Or 2, I mean. 2 successes.
What do we see while he's experiencing this?
You see everything that's happening.
I'm drawing a bead on this guy.
8, 8, 10, 9. Okay. I'm going to call that a exceptional success. You
Yeah, boy.
almost like your body's not in control of itself. You turn around and raise your hands. Your double has appeared behind you and is swinging down. You catch his blade just centimeters from your head. And as you do that, the runes on the back of your gloves start glowing, and his blade just crumbles like limestone. I mean, it just falls apart. So now he's unarmed.
Okay. So I shoot in and I actually go into grapple. Let's see. That will be. Let's see. Sorry.
I think your strength plus your brawl.
Yep.
While you're gearing up for this, I'm looking for the building. I want that thing to disappear again.
Bob, do I get a plus for my basically in brawl? I've got Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, so basically kind of shooting in. I would that would be something that that would apply specifically towards that to get in close to grappling range.
Okay, so you're doing an all-out attack. You're just shooting in.
Basically, well, so I'm running and not really charging because I still want defense, but I'm basically just kind of shooting in and applying what I know about jiu-jitsu to that action.
Okay, so you'll get a +2 for that, but you're going to lose 1 defense.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I do not. My 1 and 9 cancel out.
So that was all you had there, so nothing?
Correct.
Okay. So he's going to try to, or your double is going to try to grapple you. You shot in. He kind of sidestepped, and you were going to put your shoulder, let's say, into his stomach. He reaches around and grabs you by your neck, which would be at his side. So I'm going to roll my brawl and my strength, which, again, my strength is 0. So I'm only going to get 4 for brawl.
Does my defense play into that as well?
You'll lose 1 defense.
Okay, I've got 2 defense.
Okay. So I got 1 success. And if you want to add your dexterity onto that, onto your save, William,
okay,
you can do that.
Okay. And you said that he had 0. What was his strength?
0.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so
So-
1, 2, 3,
4.
4.
So again, with an exceptional success, as he's trying to get you in a headlock, you, with your ground fighting skills and jiu-jitsu skills, basically slip in behind him, and now you have his back. You have one arm around his neck, and you have the other arm grabbing one of his arms, and it's pinned behind him.
Okay, so I go to, at this point,
Now, can we move to assist him since apparently we're standing there watching this?
Yeah,
Just standing there eating popcorn.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to. I'll damage him. I'll damage the opponent, since pretty much went to a grapple to basically him bound at that point.
Okay, as you look up, again, the others are about a half a block from you, and you see them charging towards you. Your double turns his head all the way around, so he's facing you. And he says that you're not going to win. With that, the arm that you have pinned behind his back, he moves it in such a way that you've broken his arm in several different places. And now it's just limp. You don't have anything to hold on there. So he pushes you away, and right before Michael, Mikhail, and Connal get there, he disappears again into a mist. But this one is different than the rest because you see the faint outline. It's like a large crow made out of this mist fly up, and it disappears in the air.
I'm looking for the building.
It's still back behind you. It was the way that you were going there. So you're a half block from the building.
Okay. I get up.
Uh-oh. Is he frozen?
Is he? I didn't want to interrupt him.
Yeah. It's really slow to get off. God.
Yeah.
I start moving towards the building.
Hey.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's roll.
Nice.
Okay. You turn around and with all haste make your way to the foot of this building. There's a bunch of stairs going up to it. Again, you can see these golden doors are ajar. Bigger than what you first thought. At first you thought that they were about 40 feet tall, but now they're about 200 feet tall, probably 400 feet wide. And you can see a slight greenish glow coming from the open door.
want to look inside. I don't want to run inside. I don't want to step inside. I just want to take a look.
Okay. You look inside and you see the only thing in this room. There's 5 beams of light. There's a large one in the center of the room and 4 smaller ones surrounding that. In these 4 smaller ones, you see the rings that were previously described to you by X and O. They're just floating there, kind of spinning, about the size of a bracelet. If you were to have to put them on or whatever.
And the other light, like they're surrounding the other light. I'm trying to get a mental image of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you've got one big, huge beam of light in the middle, and then on 4 sides of that are smaller beams of light with these rings in them.
I'd like to do an active examination of the area rather than just glancing. I want to make sure that there's nothing that's about to jump out at us or anything if we cross that threshold.
Okay. You don't sense anything. There's nothing inside the building except for what you see.
Michael, what do you see?
And I don't see anything except those rings.
But they said that, things are not always what they appear to be, so something might be in there.
Yeah, well, and we know that those of our kind can hide their vampire nature from us as well. We've already seen that before.
We should be very cautious regardless, I think.
That being said, Mikhail, you go first.
Oh, sure.
No name is expendable. Connal will move in slowly, kind of regripping his axe, and taking the lead.
Okay. As soon as he walks in, I'll go ahead and kind of start walking. As soon as we walk in the door, is that right? What we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll go ahead and just kind of follow the right hand wall.
Okay. As you do that, you can see the room. I mean, it's not in like total darkness like it has been throughout. You can tell that you're in a square room, probably 30 by 30, but you still can't see the ceiling. You can see the walls, and they go clear up into the darkness. The floors and the walls here are like the buildings outside. You can tell they used to be gleaming white, but the black veins are slowly making their way over the walls and the floor. You do notice that they're not approaching the large beam of light.
The black veins are not approaching the beam.
No.
So,
everything's still sparkly white in the light.
Connell's kind of going to be reckless and move towards the light.
and I'm going to be saying, Connal, be careful. I'm standing in the doorway, gun ready. Actually, ready. Trying to, I mean, even though I can see it's a 30-foot square room, or 30 by 30, I'm not trusting just my vision.
Okay, who's standing at the door?
Mark is.
I'm at the door.
You're at the door?
Doorway. I'm in the doorway.
Okay. But if you were to just like turn your head, you could look outside, correct? Okay. Give me a wits and a composure.
Okay. Sure. Happy to. I'll even do another one, just for
All
good
right.
measure. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Can I roll that one again, too?
Yep. Keep rolling until you don't have any more 10s.
Oh!
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, we'll get rid of the 8 on that one. So 2 9s and 2 10s. That's pretty good. You notice on the street, about a block back, the street is full of dark figures in cloaks. And you can't see their faces. You can see dim red eyes coming from the depths of their hoods. And there are hundreds of them.
I know these doors are huge. Is there anything to indicate that we can move them and close them? Whether
Actually, the only size thing is their length and height. They're about that thick. 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick.
But they're indestructible, right?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, I'm going to make sure I tell everyone, guys, we got company, and there's more of them than we can count. I'm going to try to pull one door closed. I mean, I'm going to start just to see what kind of problem it'll cause, if any.
Okay.
Since I'm on the right-hand side, I hear him. I'm probably going to be one of the closer ones to it, so I'll go ahead and go for the other door.
Okay, the one door was closed. It was the other one that was ajar.
Oh, okay. I thought they were both ajar.
No.
Okay.
So I go to aid.
That would help because Michael is going to need to roll a strength.
Strength only?
Yeah.
Okay, and what would I add for the assist?
For the assist, let's go ahead and add. What's your strength, William?
I have a 1.
You have a 1 strength?
But I have the gloves.
The gauntlets of ogre power, yes.
Okay, so we'll let you add another 1 to that.
So
Chris, if you want to roll 2, and
Oh, yep.
Oh, okay, I see. Both of us
Michael,
are rolling.
you roll. Yeah.
I got a 1.
I got a 7 and a 4.
Okay, it's really slow going. You're not making very much headway, the both of you. You do notice outside that the hundreds of hooded figures are slowly. You don't see them moving. It's like they're floating, real slow towards the building.
Connal, we could use a hand here.
Moving.
Mikhail, where are you?
I am against the wall like this. I look over and I say, okay, all right. I start heading over to help.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So I don't want those guys coming in. You kidding?
All right, so we had what? We say 1 success?
1.
With Michael's roll? Okay, Mikhail and Connal roll your strengths.
Strengths.
Strength.
Can I use strength plus athletics?
It's just a strength check.
Yo, Bob.
All right, I get 1.
I got
You
a
get
10.
Go, Mikhail.
Mikhail, you got a 10 again.
Yeah. So 1 success for me.
Okay.
I got 1 success.
Okay, so that's 4 successes? Or is it 3?
1 for me, 1 for Mikhail, 1 and 2 from work.
Well, just
Michael.
1 for me.
Okay, so 3. So just as these hooded figures reach the stairs to come up to the building you're in, you slam the door shut. A light in the seam of the doorway, a red light can be seen. It's like a zipper. It goes up. The doors disappear. Now it's just a smooth white wall. Very quickly, the black veins take it over and corrupt it. You don't notice any other doors in this place.
When I kind of noticed as soon as I walked in, I looked up, and I guess we saw the blackness. Is there any way that I can use my my auspex to make my eyesight better, to where I can actually kind of see through that darkness to see how high it goes up?
It's going to be just like the forest. You could see in the, when you were making your way to Sinyon, but you couldn't see past the tree line, and that's just like it is here.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we notice any doors or anything like that?
No. The only door has now been turned into a wall, and it's been corrupted.
Okay. I have an idea. It's just a thought. I'm open to other ideas. We're here to recover 4 rings, and there's 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I am guessing if each of us grabs a ring and steps into the center light, I'm hoping that's our doorway out. Because we don't have any other options, and I don't think that we can climb these walls.
Connal nods his assent and starts moving towards the ring.
I'm really glad you said that, Michael Jones.
Oh no, I don't like it when a GM says that.
No, I mean, meta here for a minute. Mikhail solved the mystery of moving forward as he moved backwards. So I was glad for that, and I'm glad that you made the suggestion that all 4 of you grab a ring.
Okay. If I could pick, I would like the red one.
Okay, as you step, are you stepping into the large beam of light?
I think we'd need to grab the rings first. Or, I mean, what do y'all think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to do it as quick as possible in case the light will damage us.
Grab at the same time and then dive into the light.
The exact same time.
Okay,
On 3 or after 3?
On after 3.
On after 3.
so you're going to touch the ring before you step into the light. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Saying all 4 of you?
Yeah.
Because we have to go past the rings to get into the light, right?
No. Let me draw a picture here real quick. I'll show you what it kind of looks like.
I think what I'm getting from Bob's face is that we need to stand in the light and then grab the
Grab the
rings.
wing.
We're all gonna die.
All right, here's
Mikhail, stick your pinky toe in there.
Tap a ring with your bat.
there's what it looks like. You got the big beam of light on the floor and the 4 smaller beams of light on 4 sides of that, if there are 4 sides of a circle.
Okay.
Okay.
then the ring-
There's 4 quadrants.
There's
Yeah, there you
rings in each one of the outlying circles. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Has anyone gone up and taken a close look at the rings? We're just taking a look from across the room, right?
So I would like to walk up to the red ring, I guess, on the outside, but not actually step in the light. I'm just kind of observing the actual that area. So is it like is the ring on the floor?
No,
or
it's
is it
about it's about face level with you.
Okay, so it's like kind of like a pillar or floating.
It's slowly turning, like it's just levitating there inside
Okay.
that light.
So I don't touch the actual ring, but I kind of stick my hand a little bit into the light a little bit.
Okay.
Lasers.
As you do that, your skin starts to boil and peel away, and you're going to take 2 points of sunlight damage.
What about my gloves that I have on?
Oh, that's right. That's right. You don't take any damage.
Good call.
Now, just totally forget that I said that.
Sure.
Guys, don't do it. It looks like it will hurt.
But
Don't do it.
so you weren't grabbing a ring, right?
No,
you
I
were
was
just- okay.
I was basically testing the actual the light itself.
Okay. Let's say as you do that, you notice that one of the runes on your knuckle flares and disappears.
Oh crap!
So, Mikhail, can you hook one of the rings with your bat?
That's what I was thinking. I'd like to try and do that. Because there's no way I'm touching those rings.
Okay, as you attempt to hook the ring with your bat, you're successful in hooking it, and you try to pull it out, and you can't budge it for the life of you.
Crud.
Maybe if we all used our weapons at the same time.
What about our knives? I pick up my knife, or basically I'd make the suggestion to Mikhail. Why don't you try your knife and see if it's glowing or doing anything?
And I said, why don't you try your knife? I don't feel like dying.
I'll do it.
I was about to say, your axe has reach.
And I use my axe.
The more distance we can put, the better.
No, reach my axe towards the Louis Vuitton Tiffany diamond ring.
So you're doing the white one, I guess. You reach in with your axe, just like William's glove. You notice that one of the runes on your axe flares and then disappears.
But nothing happens to the ring.
Nothing happens to the ring.
So all we have is the rings and the light in the room.
And whatever we have on us.
I say we all grab them at the same time. It's probably some sort of pressure, or it's got to be one together.
Yeah, we didn't think we were going to come out of this unscathed. Well, I mean, if we try to go out the non-existent door, we're going to die.
And if we grab the rings, we're going to die.
Gentlemen, I think if we grab the rings or try to get our rings at the same time, that may break the bond that's holding it there. We could also try our knives to see if we can dislodge it from its current location after we try that. But that's my current suggestion.
I take off my shirt, wrap it around my hand and arm. So I still have ability to grab somewhat, but I'm willing to try to make a grab for whatever ring somebody else. I'll try for the black one. But yeah, I'm thinking go for them all at the same time might be a great idea.
Okay. All right.
Let's do it.
Is there a yellow ring by chance?
I think it was black, red, white, and
green.
Green.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let's do it.
Let's rock.
So
We all reach out together.
where on my high-tech map here are you standing? Are you standing like
Right there.
backwards?
I want to be
Like
standing on
here?
the I'm going to be standing on the outside, basically looking at the bigger circle.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like right here?
Yep.
Wherever the safest place for me to stand is. That's
Safest
where I will
place?
stand.
I would say that's back at your home.
How much room is it between the big circle and the local circles?
Between here and here,
Yeah.
arm's length, probably 3 feet.
Hint?
Yeah. I think we should be standing on the inside.
Then we'll burn, though.
No, but not if we're standing in between.
So if I'm understanding it right, so each of the circles has a shaft of light, and then we got a larger shaft of light shining down.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple shafts, yes.
Multiple
We're
shafts.
getting shafted.
A shaft for everybody.
Watch your mouth.
But is Connal right in that there's like the big shaft of light, and then there's kind of darkness separating between that and the smaller shafts
Yes, yeah.
illuminating? It's worth a shot.
All right,
We got to do something.
let's try it.
Yeah.
So what is the consensus here?
Stand in between the small shaft and the big shaft.
Oh, in between them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in that dark space of 3 feet,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Safe spot.
Right in the taint.
Right
Yes,
in the
taint
taint.
of the shaft.
The dark underbelly of the shaft.
But before we reach for the rings, I'm curious. I'm going to reach out toward the larger shaft of light area. Hey, what else are we going to call it? Fully expecting that there's going to have something bad happen, but I'm going to reach toward that light and see what kind of reaction I have, if any.
Beam right to the face.
With my unwrapped hand.
Disintegrate.
With your unwrapped hand. So you still have your hand wrapped or unwrapped?
I have, let's see, this is my gun hand, so I have my left hand wrapped.
Are you going for the bigger circle, the bigger beam, or the smaller?
I am.
He's going for the girth.
Yes,
The large one.
I'll put my gun in my waistband. My left hand is wrapped. I'm reaching out toward the bigger light. I'm not sticking my hand just all the way in it, but I'm reaching toward it. Is there any reaction?
A fingernail.
My little toe.
Yeah. You take Mikhail's little toe and you stick it in the big shaft.
Hey, Mikhail, can I borrow your toe?
Sure, man.
There's no reaction at all.
Ooh.
So
I think we need to stand in this big shaft and reach out and grab our chosen
little
one.
shaft.
Connal just steps into the big shaft.
Yeah.
Face first.
And then he dies.
Mouth open.
Sure, I follow suit.
Yeah, pinky toe and I go in, yeah.
Okay, so when everybody gets in there, we're going to say that you're standing opposite. If you were to look out, you would be standing in front of a ring. On the ground, it kind of does a pie, separates into a pie chart type of deal.
Quadrants.
Quadrants. Whoever's in front of the red ring, what they're standing on is red, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Gentlemen, I think we should grab them at the same time on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, as you reach out, you notice that the light follows your hand. It's like wrapped around it. It allows you to get in, and as each of you take a ring, you feel them give, and you pull them back into the girthy shaft.
So let me get this straight. Bob.
So we had protection.
We stood in a shaft, and we used light condoms to go inside another light shaft to get the ring-like circle egg and pull it back into the girthy shaft.
It was like an illuminated gangbang.
Well, when you put it like that, it doesn't sound that bad.
And
Always use protection.
I'm putting the black bracelet on my wrist.
Okay.
that was a ring.
Before you do that, as each of you grabs the rings and you pull them back, your vision starts to darken, and you don't know anything anymore until a bright light shines down on you, and you notice that you're not in Sinyan anymore. You're laying on a cobblestone street. You hear horses, and quickly from down the street, several men approach you on horses. They are dressed in armor, like they used to wear in ancient Rome, and each of them is armed with a spear.
Do we still have our weapons?
The only thing you have is a ring and the clothes you had.
Not even our knives?
Nope. That was magic stuff, and you're not in Sinyan anymore.
I put the ring on.
Okay, if you want, each of you can place one of the rings on your wrist.
We're gonna fucking Captain Planet this shit.
As you do that, it turns into it just looks like a homemade iron bracelet. They no longer have any color. You do notice, to your surprise, it's about noon, and you're standing out in the open under the sun. Each of these horsemen, there's about 15 of them, right around you, lower their spears, and speaking in Latin, which I'm not going to do because it'll just sound stupid. They say that by the command of the Emperor, you're under arrest. You notice, we could say as the scene ends, you see the Colosseum in the background. It's not a ruin. It looks like it's, matter of fact, there's still scaffolding around it, like it's being made, still being built. You notice that the people, regular people, are dressed as Romans, and as you're being chained up and led to the Emperor, you come to the realization that you've traveled back to ancient Rome, and we're going to end it there tonight.
Before we do that, Bob,
Uh-huh.
I want to stare at one of the horses and make them ride off. Just do it. No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Bob, thank you.
Yes.
It was very, very wonderful.
It was great, man.
So now, do we get the chance to meet? Well, no, not quite the right timeline. I was just about to say we met Judas last time, so I thought, hey, coming full circle.
If any of you have access to it, I don't know if you can find it online for free, maybe or shared or something, but I suggest getting this book.
Requiem for Rome.
Requiem for Rome.
Yeah.
Alright.
They've got some more skills and merits and stuff in there that y'all might want to look at.
So we're fucking time traveling vampires.
Yeah.
That walk in sunlight.
That's pretty titties. That's pretty titties.
Yeah, that's pretty badass, man.
Bob, to ask, so we understand the Latin, even though we're not native speakers. When they spoke, we understood.
It
It's
sounds
the
just like
bracelet.
English.
It's the bracelet.
They actually just spoke English back then anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
America.
Like King James. Yeah, that's right.
Chris, thank you again for doing this. Bob, thanks for hosting.
Yes, thank you.
I do want to say that this past week was our very own Harlan Guthrie's birthday. So happy birthday, Harlan.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Harlan.
On the community stream. You'll see this tomorrow. He wanted me to record that.
Maybe you should sing to him, Sam.
I was thinking about doing the Marilyn Monroe "Happy Birthday, Mr. President."
Well, now you've got
You
it.
got it, yeah.
But my kid's asleep in the next room, so maybe tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was great.
All right.
Great job,
Great
guys.
time.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Bob. We really appreciate it. I think we ended on a really cool spot.
Yes.
So, also to everybody else, Michael, Mike, Sam, really enjoy playing. I was really looking forward to playing this week, and I was hopped up on caffeine this morning, so that's why everybody got a lot of messages and stuff too. So, all right, we also too want to thank the community for being out there. We'd love to have more involvement so that we can get some more games going, and a lot of more opportunities for GMs and stuff and other PCs to be able to play together, stuff like that. That'd be really cool. If you want to get involved with that. Also, too, a last shout out again to the Invictus guys. We really appreciate those guys for getting it going a little bit over a year ago, and the way that the community has gotten together. Everybody's really cool, and we really appreciate it. If you're not a part of the community, go ahead and again find us at Facebook, and also do check out the the main stream, the Invictus guys at their location too. That'll also be in the description. So I don't have anything else. So as Sam always likes to say,
see you around the community table.
See you around the community
Good night, guys.
table.
Good
See you
night,
guys.
See ya.